And welcome back. Well, from amazing comebacks to playing with a broken leg, the U.S. Open is full of dramatic stories. This book takes you through the suspenseful tales of the Open history. Mike Trostel is a USGA historian, and he joins us live to talk about some of the great moments of the U.S. Open. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here. This book is beautiful. I've got a copy of it right here in my hands. It features 27 stories. How did the idea come up to create this book?
Well, it's a very historical year for the USGA. The U.S. Open has been around since 1895 when Horace Rawlins won, just 11 entries back in Newport Country Club. But this is a big anniversary. In 1913, 100 years ago, Francis Ouimet won at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts. What his win there did is it put golf on the front pages of American newspapers for the first time. And really in the decades that followed, it gave 2 million people actually picked up the game in the decade that followed Ouimet's win. So certainly a great anniversary, celebrating that 100th anniversary of Ouimet. And then this year, for the 113th U.S. Open, going back to Merion Golf Club just outside of Philadelphia, a lot of history associated with that. So it just kind of made sense to put the book out now. Well,
yeah, and speaking of that history that you're talking about, going back to the Merion Golf Club, that's the site that Ben Hogan had his 1950 comeback after a near-fatal car crash. You know, for being able to feature stories like that in this book, I mean, how, for you, doing the interviews and finding out all the information, how important is it to feature the 27 stories that you chose?
Well, I think it's incredibly important to do that. You know, you talked about Ben Hogan in the 1950 U.S. Open. Hogan was in a near-fatal car crash in February 1949. Doctors say he may not walk again, never mind play golf. But within a couple of months, he's back walking. Within a year, he's playing professional golf. Sets his sights on winning the U.S. Open in 1950. And then he does. He makes an incredible comeback, really one of the most inspirational in the history of sports. So there's many stories like Hogan's inspirational tale. You look at Tiger Woods in 2008, the perseverance that he showed, winning at Torrey Pines on a broken leg and torn ACL. There's also a lot of stories out there that people don't know about, hidden gems like Billy Burke in 1931. Who played 144 holes to win his championship, essentially 2 U.S. Opens within just a 6-day span.
And the foreword is very special in this book. The USGA chose Jack Nicklaus to write the foreword. Why do you think that's so significant?
Well, Jack Nicklaus is probably the greatest USGA champion of all time. 4-time U.S. Open champion, 4-time runner-up. He played in his first U.S. Open in 1957 as a 17-year-old, and his last one in 2000 as a 60-year-old. In between there, 44 consecutive U.S. Opens. So there's certainly no one more qualified to write the foreword, and really honored to have Jack do that for us.
And why the U.S. Open? What makes the U.S. Open itself as a competition so unique and special?
Well, I think it's really golf's most complete test. Tests a player from tee to green, certainly on the putting surfaces, and then mentally as well. You know, can you perform at the highest level in front of, you know, hundreds of thousands of fans on golf's grandest stage? It's golf's most democratic championship. There are no age limits. This year we had a new record number of entries, over 9,800, from people all across the United States, all 50 states, including the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, in 73 foreign countries. And it ends on Father's Day. I think a lot of us learned the game of golf from our dads, so ending on Father's Day makes it a little extra special.
Yeah, it really does. And I think some of the pictures in the book, I'm actually holding up some of them right now, because some of them are back from the 20s. There's these great historical pictures. And you, as a historian, I can imagine just loved going through and finding some of these pictures and really celebrating the past of golf.
Yeah, we have a great collection of photos here in the USGA Museum, more than 500,000 in our collection, from black and white photographs, the color slides, the digital photography today. And we found some great examples. It was a pleasure to go through and embark on this multi-year project, to see all those photos, you know, read about all those stories and bring them to the readers.
Absolutely. And Michael, it was definitely a pleasure having you here on The Morning Blend. It's a beautiful book that you guys have created.
Thank you very much, and I'll just hold it up right here, and viewers can go and get more information about the book and buy some copies at usga.org or at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
That's great. Thanks for being here on The Morning Blend.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. usga.org is that website. All right.